As someone who works as a planner or works on the assignment desk or is part of the news gathering team, it's really important that you've got a place where you can actually track and see everything that's actually happening in the course of a day. It's also a place where you can plan events, and not just plan events, assign tasks, give tasks to team members, and then also track the progress of those tasks being completed. Now, in MediaCentral Cloud UX, we can do this using what's called the MediaCentral Collaborate app, and that's what we're going to spend most of our time looking at today. But just to point out about MediaCentral Cloud UX, MediaCentral Cloud UX is a browser-based tool. So here, this is running in Google Chrome, and it gives me access to a whole range of different capabilities. So for example, in MediaCentral Cloud UX, as well as doing the planning part, which we're going to look at today, I can also do other things. So for example, I can view video here, I can edit video here, I can also write stories, I can also publish out to social media. So MediaCentral Cloud UX really is a complete toolkit to enable the creative people within your organization to go ahead and to do their job. And you access that using different apps along the top here. We have browse, so I can navigate through my systems. We have search, so I can search against anything. This is MediaCentral Collaborate that we'll look at today. Here, for example, is the rundown app, so I can access my MediaCentral newsroom system. And we also have MediaCentral Publisher for publishing to social media. And of course, we can also publish to a studio setup as well. But let's dive in now into MediaCentral Collaborate and talk a little bit about what we're looking at here. So at the top left-hand side, you see I have three tabs. I have a Planner tab, I have a People tab, and I have a Resources tab. So let's look first of all at the People and Resources tab. In the People tab, I obviously see all of the people who are part of my organization. So this allows me to then see not just the people themselves, but also to see their skill sets and also to see if people are out of the office, for example. In the Resources tab, well, here I can see resources that I have available to me. Now, these could be edit rooms, they could be camera cars, they could be satellite trucks, whatever it is that you want to add into here. And you can allocate people and resources to tasks and assignments, and we'll take a look at that in a little while. Let's go back now to the Planner tab. So in the Planner tab, what we're looking at here is a list of what we call topics. Now you can also see we have what are called assignments. We'll go dive into that in a bit more detail as well. So the topics is the kind of highest level of a story or an event that we're going to be covering. And you can use this in a variety of different ways. You know, we're not prescriptive about how you do this. So for example, you could have a topic for a particular date. So here I've got one for Friday, August 20, for example. And if I go into that, you can then see inside that, these are individual assignments. So these are the stories that people are going to be covering in the course of this particular day. And we'll dive into this in a bit more detail as well. If I go back to the Planner view, an alternative way of using the Planner view is to plan based around an event. So here you can see I have an event for the Summer Games. And if I go into that, then I have assignments here, in this case, for each of the sports that we would potentially be covering. So very flexible in terms of how you can use it. You can choose how you want to deploy it and to do it. But let's now go into Friday, August 20, because this is the one that we're actually going to begin to work on. So now, as I mentioned before, inside here, I can now see a bunch of what are called assignments. And the assignments would be, in this case, the actual stories that people are going to go and cover. So let me go ahead just now and create a new assignment. I'm going to give the assignment a title, and we're going to do a story about coastal erosion. Now I can add tags in here. So this could be, beach, for example. You see here it says it's a new value. You can build up a list of values here. So, if you put in something that already exists, then it will tell you that it exists, and you can pick it from a picker that comes up as well. This is now adding these in as new values so that they'd be available in the picker in the future. So let me go ahead and save that out. And now you can see it's added this in as a new assignment here. You'll also see there are different colors. These represent the different stages that these different assignments are at. The white one represents the fact that it's new, so that's obviously why it's white at the moment. If I now go into this particular assignment, there's two things to look at here. The first thing in the middle is what we call the container. And this is where I can begin to add any media or any asset that we have inside our system into here. But what I'm going to do just now is I'm going to create a task for this assignment. And so this task is where I'm going to task a user or a group of users to actually go off and to do something. So in this case here, we're working in what we call a story-centric way. So what that means is that I could have multiple people who are actually working on this particular story, but they're delivering content for different platforms. So for example, I could have someone who's working for an item for the 6 o'clock show. I could have someone else who's been tasked to go out and film something. I could have someone else who's been tasked to create a post for Twitter or for Facebook or for social media sites. That's what we mean by working in a story-centric way. So rather than, someone coming in and having to go and find the rundown and find the story that they're working on and then look in other parts of the database or other parts of the system to find other related content, they can see everything directly here. But let me first of all go in and create a new task. And the first task I want here is I want a package for the 10 p.m. show. So I can put in a due date and time. So of course it's for the 10 o'clock show, so I'm going to put in the date and then the 10 p.m. show. You see what happens now is I can now download this as a calendar reminder. This will include a link that would take me directly here into MediaCentral Collaborate to access this particular assignment and then see the task. I want to allocate a team member. Now you can see here I have some team members that already pop up. That's because they're part of the bigger topic that we're covering here. But here I'm going to add another team member. And in here, I can either just, I can just scroll through and I can find people, for example. But let's imagine I want to add, Evgeny to this. I can then filter just by typing in his name. I can begin to filter. So I just select his name here and then hit save. And then what happens at this point is he will receive a notification on his mobile phone. So let me quickly show you how that works. So now you can see my mobile phone. Let's allocate a task. And there you can see I immediately receive a notification. So that's how notifications work in the mobile app. We'll look a little bit at the mobile app later on. So here I've allocated Evgeny to this particular package, but I can also go in and I can allocate resources. Remember before, we can allocate team members, we can also allocate resources. So again, here, for example, I want to allocate this particular camera kit to this. So that's one task that's being created. Let me go in now and create another task. And this one is going to be a post for Twitter. Now again, I could go in and I could add due date and times from here. I could allocate a team member and you can now see Evgeny appears here as well. Or again, I could add another team member. So let's say I go in here, for example, and I want to add Anna to this. So here I can see Anna to this, and again, I could save that out. And again, as soon as I do that, she's going to receive a notification on her mobile phone to tell her that she has been allocated to this new task as well. Now again, you see here that the status for these things is currently sitting as white. Now, if you remember from before, white is an indication that this is a new task. So let's have a quick look at the MediaCentral mobile app for how a user on location could actually go in, view this task, and then update it. So here I'm back onto my mobile phone. So I'm going to navigate into the MediaCentral Collaborate app, which is going to sign me in automatically. And if I look in here, I can then see the topics and assignments. So you can see here, I have the Friday, August 20th topic. If I just tap on that, it's going to take me into it. And inside there, I can then see, the coastal erosion one that we've been looking at. And if I go into that, I can then see the two tasks that have just been created. So what I'm going to do now is, as the reporter on location, I'm simply going and I'm going to change the status of this to indicate that this is now in progress. So here I can go in and you can see I see all of the different status levels from new through idea, in progress, for review, rejected, approved, completed, or even marked for archive or marked for deletion. So let's go ahead here and just change that status to say it's in progress. Click on the tick for there. You can see on the mobile app, the status here has changed and it has obviously updated. And if I now go into the task on the web app, you'll also see that this is updated as well. So let me just come across here, go into that. And again, here I can now see that this is in progress. So again, as the planner, I'm going to mark this overall assignment now as something that's also in progress. And that will then change the color for the overall assignment as well. So this is how we can then use MediaCentral Collaborate, whether I'm working on the web app or whether I'm working on the mobile app, to actually then track the status and progress of overall assignments and of individual tasks within those assignments as well. Now, one further thing it's also worth pointing out, let me go in this time, I'm going to add another task, and this is going to be a task for online, for example. And again here, I'm going to add, in this case, let's just add Benjamin, who's part of the existing assignment to do that. And of course, the other thing I can also add in here is I can add in some more information. So and this is also additional information which, Benjamin can get. And this could include links. So say, for example, you've got a camera crew that's gone out on location somewhere. You could even put in directions here with a Google Maps link, for example, as well. So this is how I can then use MediaCentral Collaborate to go in, plan items, create assignments, task people to carry out assignments, and then follow the progress of those assignments directly in here as well. In another video, we'll take a look at how the reporter can then work with MediaCentral Collaborate to then see tasks, update the progress of those tasks, gather content together, and prepare their stories for publication. So just as a recap of what we looked at today, working as a planner with MediaCentral Collaborate, which is part of MediaCentral Cloud UX, I've gone in, I've allocated users to assignments within a topic, created tasks for them to carry out, and I can then track the status of these particular tasks and assignments directly here. That's MediaCentral Collaborate from the point of view of the planner.